Good evening, everybody. We are live. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Power Couple live stream. My name is Joseph, one half of that Power Couple, and I'm going to be with you from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next 2 hours. We are putting on our Pokemon caps, even though this is our logo and totally not Pokemon related, but we're going to put on our Pokemon caps. We're going to become Ash Ketchum because we are going to be on a Catch-em-all journey tonight. We are, thank you very much, Anonymous Cheer. Pleasure to have you, whoever you are. Thankful for your cheer, right? I keep wanting to say donation, but it's a cheer, and that's what it should be addressed as. Exactly. Woo! Bits! Always pleasure to have that. And if you guys are new to tuning in, please consider giving us a follow. It would be greatly appreciated. Click that heart, like I just pointed in the upper right hand side of the screen. It'd be greatly appreciated. We'd heart you if you were to give us a follow. If you enjoyed the stream, wait until 8 p.m. Good lord, you can tell it's been a long day. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are going to switch over to play The Sims 4. We're going to be continuing our shell challenge that Stephanie and I did yesterday. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to check that, but if you haven't, head over to our videos on demand. Well, of course, after tonight. Feel free to go take a look at that. But we did a great challenge yesterday for you guys. Essentially, I had 15 minutes to build a shell. Stephanie had 15 minutes to build a shell, and then we respectively had 45 minutes to attempt to fill in that shell the best we could with the given time limit. Not much in terms of restrictions, no BB move object, none of that stuff going on. But we're going to do the second part of that tonight from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's where we're now going to turn the tables, and I am going to do my own shell, and I've got 45 minutes, and Stephanie is going to do her own shell, and she's going to have 45 minutes as well. Like I said, all of that stuff is coming your way, and we're gonna upload everything that we do tonight from 8 to 10, and you guys will have a chance to vote on it to find out who the winner of our couples challenge is. We're still surprisingly together. I thought that was gonna be a home breaker. I thought we were gonna have a Monopoly, a stage 4 Monopoly situation where I was gonna throw the table, flip it upside down, angrily do something, say something silly, and then get myself sleeping on the couch. Thankfully, she just made me sleep on the floor instead of the couch, so I consider that an upgrade. That was definitely better than having to sleep on the couch. So what we're going to do tonight, however, for the next 2 hours that I have you, like I said, is we are doing a Pokemon Catch-em-all. We are going to be jumping on to Pokemon Shield, which is the version that I have, and we are making our way towards completing our Galar Pokedex. So that means we're hoping to get 400 Pokemons by, well, obviously not today's stream, but we've got a great little transition and announcement that we're hoping to do just because I've beaten the crap out of the Outer Worlds already. We're going to be taking that out of the rotation, see you later, and we are going to be replacing that with Pokemon Shield. I will leave it up to you guys as to whether or not if we continue with Borderlands 3, but depending on how popular the Pokemon content goes, we might decide to do Pokemon Shield for Monday and Wednesday, because we're going to be doing that Galar Dex all over the Galar region. We're going to find every single Pokemon we can to get to 400. Why? Because after we're done doing that Galar Dex, we are going to start working towards a Shiny Dex. I've never done this before in my life with any Pokemon game, and I can actually say that I've never ever, through playing literally every single Pokemon game that there ever has been, except for the Pikachu Go and Eevee Go that came out for the Switch. I haven't played that. Other than that, I've played basically just every other mainstream Pokemon game that's come out. I am yet to get a shiny, and that is going to change. One way or another, I am going to work towards getting a shiny Pokemon. But the reason why we're waiting until we have a full Galar Pokedex first is that we're going to get that charm that allows us to get Pokemons that are shiny a lot easier. And in the background, in between streams, I'm going to be getting a Masuda, I believe it's a Masuda, Ditto. And that is, just for those who aren't aware, because all of this sounds like gibberish to me too, is a Masuda Ditto is a Ditto from another version of the game that's not English. So it used to be back in the day that when you had a Masuda Ditto, it had to come from an actual, I guess, region version of that Pokemon game. So if you were playing, Pokemon X or Y, you needed to actually have a version of Pokemon X or Y that came from Germany, France, Japan, etc. If you got one of those foreign versions to trade you over a Ditto, you were golden. You had a Masuda Ditto, and that would take your availability, or your chances, excuse me, statistics for getting a shiny Pokemon when breeding. It would cut it down dramatically. It's by 4 times essentially. I think you go from like 400 and something out of one to let's just say, I don't know, I forget what it is, but it significantly bumps up your chances. There's a bunch of guides online. I might even feel free to post some of that a little bit later. But long story short, okay, you get this Ditto from a foreign language, you mix it with your English, Pokemon that you're trying to breed, and lo and behold, your chances of getting a shiny Pokemon go a lot higher. So mix that with all of the other items that you can get. The increase, I believe it's an Oval Charm. Oval Charm gets you the quicker eggs from the breeders. So we're gonna get our Ditto to work. Once we get that Masuda Ditto, preferably I'm gonna try to get it with 6 IVs, individual values, and that basically meaning I'm gonna try and get a perfect Ditto if I can. So all of the stats are gonna be best, because we'll end up pairing depending. So it's going to be, again, I feel like I'm going so far into Pokemon logic right now that those who aren't aware of what the hell's going on with Pokemon nowadays, you're going to get completely lost. So you have my apologies. But what is hip? Tell me. No. So what ends up happening in competitive Pokemon, what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the best team that you can possibly put together. You do that by trying to find a Pokemon that has Realms Gamers. What's going on? Thank you very much for tuning in. It's great. It is great, but a very long process. You're absolutely correct. So the general idea for being competitive in the competitive scene on Pokemon right now is a lot of people are grabbing a Masuda Ditto. It's got perfect, 6 IVs. All of its stats are noted as being best, and they're using that as your major parent point, and then they're finding the Pokemon that they want to breed for their team. So right now my competitive team is essentially consisting of 3 Pokemon, which I'll reveal when we jump into the game. But they're taking whatever Pokemon that they want to make part of their team, mixing it with the Ditto, ensuring that the major stat that they want to transfer over to that particular Pokemon. So if you're dealing with Cinderace, and for Cinderace, I want to have someone who's really pumped for, for special attack or for speed, I'm going to make sure that I get the appropriate item that goes into Cinderace, goes into the nursery, mix that with the best, perfect Masuda Ditto, and you have a recipe for creating a shiny Pokemon that can also be competitive as well. So I'm going from like 0 to 60 in terms of my Pokemon knowledge. Again, I don't know if you just caught it, Realms, but for me, I've never got a shiny before, and we're going from 0 shinies in my life to collecting all 400 Pokemon so I can get the ability to get shinies at a better rate, and I am attempting to eventually going towards a competitive team that's all shinies. We'll work on a shiny dex, but I think I'm going to try and focus on my, I guess, 5 or 6 major mons that I want to be a part of my team. And plus, using hold items for nature and IVs, exactly. We were just talking about that, and it's a great way to make sure that the major stat that you want to ensure gets passed on. I forget the exact rundown, but I think you end up getting 3 stats that are guaranteed to move on, and you want to make sure that the ones that you do want to move forward are exactly the ones that are going to benefit your Pokemon. Making sure that natures are being transferred. Hell, you can even make sure that the Pokemon, as long as it's female, that the Pokeball that Pokemon is in and your new hatch that's going to come out is going to fit that Pokeball as well. You can even go as far as to make sure that it's in a Pokeball that you like. Short version on that is, if you do have a Ditto in your midst, then essentially whatever the female Pokemon is, that's the ball that will carry over. If you've got a male and a female at the nursery, then you got a 50-50 shot, I think, for what you get. So that's going to be, again, where we're at. We're looking at going from 0 to 60 in terms of Pokemon knowledge. We're going to try and make this as edible and you know, as humanly possible, right? Whether if it's an apple or if it's an elephant. Thank you very much for the follow. That is greatly appreciated, Realms Games. Love to have you here, and thank you for tuning in. I know that when I go and check out Heather, the Busy Simmer, the _busy_simmer, go give her a check out. She just hit affiliate. Congrats, Heather. I know I've seen you around there, so I'm happy to see you over here as well. Anyway, sorry, I kind of get off track sometimes, but again, what we're looking to do is I'm going to try and make this simple. It's like an apple or an elephant. How do you eat it one bite at a time? We're going to start with the Galar Index, Pokedex. We're going to go and try and fill that out. That's going to be several, you know, long series. It's not going to take, you know, one sitting in order to get that done. And after that, we're going to work towards getting that shiny charm from the director over in the hotel in the Winter City. And then we are going to, at that point, start towards breeding for shinies. I'm hoping by then I'll have a Masuda Ditto. I'm in a couple of different Discords right now, attempting to find when either giveaways go out, and I'm in the process of attempting to get either a 5 IV or a 6 IV English Ditto for hope to trade with a foreign person who has a foreign version of the game that's looking to transfer that over. In this particular case, I know I'd mentioned before, normally you needed to find a foreign version of the game for you to be able to get that Masuda Ditto, but because, if I remember correctly, Sword and Shield were packaged out with all of the different versions of the game in terms of languages right out of the box, I don't need to find a Japanese version or an Italian version. It could be someone literally down the road, and that person down the road can start up an Italian file. So for sure, I can tell you that if I had friends, hold on, if I wish I could, I think I got rid of it, but I had my sad violin somewhere. But if I had friends, or more importantly, if I just had friends that played Pokemon, again, 30-year-old man-child here, then I'd be able to do that a little bit easier, because then I could make Giuseppe, the Italian version of my Pokemon file, and I'd be able to go through the first half hour of the game, get to the wild area, and then essentially allow a friend who's already beaten the game go to that particular spot where the Ditto spawns on the Gigantamax areas, and then circumvent it in order to get me what I need here. And then I could just do a self-trade with that friend. But that's too much to ask, apparently, because my friends they're too busy adulting in order to play Pokemon with me. But I digress now. What we're going to do is, again, we're going to get that Masuda Ditto in the background. I'm not going to make that part of my series with you. And we are then at that point going to start our Shiny Dex breeding. And again, as long as it catches on, as long as you guys are enjoying it, I'm happy to keep on doing it. Worst case scenario, we'll keep chugging along and we'll find something else to work. Exactly, right? If you've got Sword, I've got Shield Realms. I'm happy to trade over Mons that you don't have. Like, for example, I need a Seedot, a Nuzleaf. You know, that's a great example of one that's over in Sword that I don't have. I'm happy to send over some Mons that you don't have being on Sword, and we can definitely, you know, help the Pokemon Pokedex building there. So definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to add you on Switch, and we can start working towards doing that, because that's another major part that I'm not going to be able to do, is I am going to have to get a little help from my friends, and we're going to have to build that Pokedex by trading. Yeah, I mean, take your time. If you haven't beat the game yet, enjoy the ride. It for me, it was about 35 to 38 hours, I think I put into the game, start to finish, to play it through. Enjoy it. It was worth the time. It was worth the effort to put into it. I was told that it was a lot harder than what I felt it was. Some people were saying that, you know, that they felt as though that, thank you very much, Realms, for the subscription. Yeah, Awesome. Again, greatly appreciated to have you here. I was told that to expect like an increase in difficulty from what you normally expect for Pokemon games, even though they have, um, the max version of these Pokemons, whether if it's the normal or the Gigantamax or whatever you want to call this stuff now. I was told to expect that to not be a game breaker and to have a couple of bosses that or gym leaders that were going to take some thinking to get through. I essentially had Cinder Ace and just plowed through everything. Yeah, the Dynamax, right? I'm sorry, the Gigantamax is the purple beams and the Dynamax is the red beams. But I was told to expect that to kind of be a little bit of a problem. With Cinderace, I like plowed through the entire game super quickly. Cinderace is one of the most overpowered Pokemon you're gonna run into, essentially since Greninja. Like Greninja was considered to be a super overpowered mon, and even Greninja might be overpowered by Cinderace. You've got essentially a Pokemon that has I think it's like 130 power move with 90 accuracy on it. You mix that with a Pokemon that has really high special attack and super speed, and you've got a recipe for disaster for whoever you're going to run into. It's a complete sweeper. You have Cinderace, you're going to sweep through anything that's, not going to be, a ground type or a rock type. Excuse me, probably a ground type if I think. My elements are all messed up at the moment. But as long as you're not running into one of those two types, you're normally fine from a sweeping standpoint, and you can really just hold your own. That's essentially what I did the entire game. Even the water, gym. I had Bounce on Cinderace at the time, so we're talking any Pokemon that was up, bounce up one term, they would go ahead and do their water attack, and then I'd come down and take them out. It was really, really, really quick to get through it. Yeah, it is going to be a very interesting competitive season. So Realms is saying that it's going to be an interesting competitive season since there aren't much strategy Pokemon builds out yet. I would say that. Actually, I won't say anything because I'm taking a sip of water. But I will say that you're going to have big sweepers like Cinderace out there. Okay, I forget what the name of it is, but there's a one of those ridiculous fossil Pokemon that has no business being alive. It looks like it's in one of those memes where it's like, please kill me now. And one of those is supposed to be a big time sweeper too. It's got minimal, elements that are super effective against it, and it's one of the fish ones. It's like the fish head dragon body. If you've got that one's supposed to be a major sweeper as well. I think right now, kind of and I think what we'll do is when we jump into the game, I'll go over my opinions on what I think are some good consensus teams to look at, or Pokemon to definitely include. But I'm finding. Hold on. Your boy's a dum-dum and reached into his Twitter live dashboard. All right. There we go. A little bit better doing it that way now. So, again, what we're looking at is I'll jump on and I'll give my recommendations to what I think are some great mons to have for your competitive team. I am by far no means a master in this. I am far from a Pokemon master, but I do have some good opinions as to what you can do for move sets for your mons, perhaps some items in order to include in them as well, and I do have some general recommendations for you to include in your team. But I do agree that because it is a new game, there's no set, strategies that are out there at the moment. I just know that I've bumped into a couple of interesting teams over my time playing, and I just think that there's a lot of room right now, and I think a lot of teams are just kind of sweepers through and through, and it'll be interesting to see what we can do with that. Again, sidetracked, my apologies, but again, recap. Galar Pokedex, we're going to get through all of that. After we're done with the Galar Pokedex, we're going to start working on our shiny breeding. We're going to first start by working on a competitive team that are filled with shinies, so those are going to be the ones that I'm going to start with. And then again, depending on how popular or not popular this miniseries is going to end up being, we'll end up either keeping it or we'll scrap it and find something else to do. So with that out of the way, I think I've spent way too much time talking your ears off. I think that we should get down to business. So I've got a brand new scene overlay that I am going to reveal with you guys. I thought I had set it up for my stream deck, but I did not. So here we go. All right. Welcome to the power couple. Catch 'em all. Okay. I think it's a cute little setup, right? Thank you very much. I'm glad you love and enjoy it. So, very straightforward, okay? I know that it looks a little busy, but again, it's going to be very straightforward. Up at the very top, you've got the title, Power Couple, Catch 'em All. We've got our dual logos in the upper left and upper right. I'm excited to show on the left-hand side, which is immediately above me, we've got what's going to be utilized for our shiny catching, okay? We've got essentially Pokemon models that are up there for you guys to see what we're currently working on now, and then what we were just working on beforehand. If anyone wants any help with setting this up, I did it myself, but I'm happy to let you know what I did to put it together. I put together essentially some of the artwork that's on here, but the long short of it is that we're pulling images from Cerebi onto this stream for the purpose of having the models. Please don't send a cease and desist, Cerebi, would be greatly appreciated. But what we're doing is we're going to update those models when need be, so I am going to be doing a little bit of back and forth because there is no automatic option for me to be able to do that. I promise I won't take too long to do it, but I've even got some handy-dandy counters as well. So if you look right now where we have Steenie, which is the Pokemon with like the cute hair, it's a grass type. And if I were to go and try and take a shot at doing a Steenie capture, and it didn't work out, either way, I'd be able to bump it up to 1 like you guys see right now. And then let's say it'll be 400 and something catches, but we get super lucky and at 19 we're able to get it. There you go. We'll have our little counter there, stop there. And then I can also reset it. Very cool. And then we'll also make sure that the one on top of that also has what we had for our count there. So again, really cool and simple stuff that I'm happy to go over with you guys. And I can help you be able to do that as well. And then down on the bottom here is where we lined up our current full decks down on the bottom. So again, same thing. Every time I catch a Pokemon, I'm going to bump it up. So we just went from 179 to 180. I can bump it back down, which is what I need to do, or I can accidentally reset it. You are an idiot, Joseph. All right, thankfully, it does not take long to reset that. So bang, like magic. Now it's 179 again. That's where we're currently at. We've got 179 when we jump into the game. I will, like I said, I'm not going to be perfect about it, but I will try my best to update each Mon as we're going about doing it. I just don't want to take too much of my time streaming, going back and forth between switching up the URLs to pull the proper Mon onto the screen. So I hope you enjoy this, guys. It's going to be a fun time. Realms gamers, shiny hunting is fun. I spend 3 days trying to get a shiny Wooloo. That is, I will say, I like me the black sheep of the family, and I think that it's going to be fun to go through that torture. So I'll be right there with you, Realms. It is not easy. You can do your shiny hunting, hatching 500, 600 times and not get a shiny. So it's going to be a lot of me and you time. Hopefully there'll be other people joining us, like Stephanie and Heather and King Cookie Cat and Mathematics and all of our friends that come and join us. So right now, I am currently, I'll actually bring it up for you guys to see. I'm over in the wild area, and apparently I can't play the game all of a sudden, but we're in the wild area. We are currently over next to the Stony Wilderness, we transported over to the bridge field, space, or God, I cannot speak, fast travel area. We took the flying taxi there, right next to where actually, we'll do that right now so I can show you. Brings you right to the Pokemon nursery that's in the wild area. Okay, we're not going to actually be doing our breeding here. I prefer to do it over on Route 5, which is over yonder. Not that way, Joseph. Route 5 right over here. And you see that? That's the Pokemon nursery. We're going to go there. We can jump on our bike, Rotom bike super fast back and forth, pick up our eggs, hatch them pretty quickly. We'll make sure that we have a Pokemon with the warm body ability or flame body ability, whatever the name of it is, to make those hatches go a little bit quicker. But the reason why we're here is in between our catches, we're going to be going over to the spot to catch Dittos. Okay? So in this case, if you were to bring up your map and you go just under the bridge, okay? That's currently where we are. We just went under the bridge over to this spot right here, this Pokemon den. This den is the one that you want to go to if you are looking to get yourself a Ditto. If you can make it a purple beam like I currently have at the moment, then you are guaranteed to get a Ditto Gigantamax battle. So it's not a Dynamax, it's a Gigantamax. I think if they're purple, that's how we're describing it at the moment. But if I click on it, I've got a 5-star Ditto waiting to go. So there's no greater, higher difficulty. It's a 5-star Ditto or bust. If it's I believe if it's a 4-star Ditto, you're guaranteed to get, I think up to 4 perfect IVs, but no more. Sorry, up to 3 perfect IVs, but no more. If you go a 5-star Ditto, then you're getting into 4, 5, and 6 territory. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, if I can get a English perfect Ditto, 6 IVs, then I'll be happy because I'll be able to hopefully, at that point, convince someone who's got a foreign language version of the game to work with me. So if we go to our Pokemon at the moment, okay, and we switch over to our box, I've actually got a box lined up for Dittos at the moment. So I've collected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dittos. And I've got this lined up to where right now I'm just going to show you what we mean by when we're talking about IVs. If you are through the game, you beat the game, go over to Battle Tower, get yourself through, I think it's 6 battles. If you go through 6 battles, you'll face up against Leon for the 6th battle, and he will introduce to you what we call the IV checker. And in this case, the IV checker happens when you look at your Pokemon stats, and on the right-hand side of the... Is it this way? No, it's this way. That's right. It's reversed for me. So if you go on this side of the screen, all the way over where it says Ditto, level 57, and underneath it, it has the HP, attack, defense, special attack, so on and so forth, you'll see that it has best, best, decent, best, fantastic, and best. This Ditto has what we call amazing stats. It's got 4 perfect IVs. The reason why there's 4 perfect IVs is that you've got 4 stats that have the best description next to it. I'm looking for a Ditto that hopefully will have 5 is a good place to start, best stats IVs, and then if I can get lucky enough, get one that has 6 perfect IVs. That way, again, I would have a lot of leverage to go into a trade with somebody to get me that foreign Ditto for that purposes. Realms Gamer saying, I wonder when will Pokemon Home come out, since it works like Pokemon Bank, that way I can transfer my Japanese Ditto. That is absolutely correct. Pokemon Home, for those who don't know, is scheduled to come out, I believe, in early 2020, and what it's going to end up being is it's going to be like a Pokemon Bank for your Nintendo Switch. You should, theoretically, it's not proven yet, but as long as they do what you expect to do, you should be able to transfer Pokemon from games that are compatible onto this Pokemon Home and then transfer them to your accounts on your Switch. So the idea behind that is you can have a Japanese Ditto potentially from Sun and Moon possibility. You could put that into Pokemon Home, transfer that over to your account on there. So if you had a foreign version of the game and you wanted to transfer the Pokemon over, you should be able to do that. Theoretically, what we're talking about right now is there should be the option for you to create a game file in Italian, Giuseppe, right? We're gonna go with Giuseppe, the Italian version of me. And Giuseppe can get a Italian Ditto, and then I'd be able to very simply just take the Ditto, transfer it into Pokemon Home, and then from Pokemon Home transfer it into Joseph's file, the English file. And then I'd be able to do it that way. Technically, if I also wanted to, I could beat the game in Italian 40 hours later, get me essentially where I'm at right now with my file of the game. And then I'm sure I could find a good soul who'd be willing to, do a transfer from one account to another of my Italian Ditto. But it would essentially take out that middleman that would be required if you were using Pokemon Home. The other important part, I guess, is that if you just wanted to transfer from one game to another, what it do, Ronan? Pleasure to have you here. We are getting full-on, into Pokemon depth of knowledge here. I've learned way too much about Pokemon in the last, 48 hours, and it's melting my brain. I did not know that Pokemon had become so ridiculously competitive, and this is coming from someone who has played almost every Pokemon except for the Pokemon Eevee and Pikachus that came out. I've played, I think I played Sun, not Moon. So I played Sun, I played X. I basically have played everything all the way down from Red to Blue, at least one of the major franchises, and went through it all. And here I am, and I've never got a shiny. I suck at competitive battles, and we're gonna try and do a makeover of my Pokemon skills, and we're gonna try and do it together. So input is welcome. And like I said, right now we're gonna do a Gigantamax Ditto battle in hopes that we get one that has, again, point over on the right hand side of your screen, you see his stats, and you've got best, decent best, fantastic best. Get good. I hope that helps you, son. Yes, get good, or as we always say, don't die. If you don't die, you're in good hands. So we're hoping to get one right now that's going to have that perfect 6 IVs. I'm not online. We're not going to go online because I have a feeling that if I do that, my internet's probably going to kick out, because whenever a new device seems to snatch onto the Wi-Fi of my router, every now and then it just decides to cut off internet for some reason. No idea why. Yeah, Ronan saying, my Pokemon experience ends at Gen 4, so I have no actual input. No worries at all. Alright, so we are going to hit Don't Invite Others. Did not want to actually go in there with Gallade. That's fine. This is fine. That is an absolute... I did not want to do that. Lovely. Alright, fair enough. We'll work with what we got. Actually, let's go ahead and Dynamax first. So when you are dealing with Ditto, guys, a good way to go about doing it, you can do it a couple of different ways. You can, if you get a team of people that you know, I mean, you could just roll with, you know, a Magikarp that only has Splash. And if you've got 3 really good people on your team to really pick up the slack, then you hope that Ditto takes over your, you know, your Magikarp, and then it only knows Splash, so you completely, you know, kill any offensive power that it was going to have. The alternative from that is you could, you know, take on a Dragon type, and if Ditto takes on your Dragon type, then congratulations, you're most likely going to win. Again, you could just be an idiot like me and jump into the battle with a Pokemon that has no business being here. So, yeah. So, Galade, I don't know how you pronounce the damn thing, but this is not going to go well. I fully expect to lose because I'm going in with 3 horrible AI Pokemon here as my teammates. And I just don't have the damage output right now. So you guys will see in a minute, but I think now that should be where we need to be. And probably not even that. Yeah, not even this. Ditto comes up with like 5 or 6 shields that need to be taken down. I'm just gonna go Max Mind Storm. Hopefully that takes a little bit more out, just because it's 130. It's not super effective. Alright, so now you're going to see Ditto is getting desperate. Its attacks are becoming more desperate as well. There's your barrier. 6 individual attacks now need to get by Ditto to even continue knocking down its health. Once we get down to about 1/3 of health, it's going to put up another 6 barrier. We have to get through that, and then we can take down the Ditto. So this is going to go at a snail's pace. The good news is at least Do Life is keeping people's health not all the way down to 0. But the way your Dynamax battles work for those who are new to the game is either one of 2 things needs to happen. One, or to lose, right? 4 people faint. It doesn't have to be the same person. You go in with 4 people, but when 4 Mons faint, game over. You don't get to continue the battle. So if Pikachu goes down, then Togepi, and then Magikarp, and then Pikachu again, even though I don't actually faint, guess what? We lose. To that point, though, you have 10 rounds to defeat the Mon. And if you don't get through it in 10 rounds, it automatically cuts you off. So those are your 2 conditions in which you lose. Realms saying, too bad there's no Gigantamax will. Yes. But half the reason why I'm not too happy is, the reason why I have Galad with me is, this is it's one of the only Pokemon, I believe might be the only Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield that can learn both Hypnotize and False Swipe, which means that I can get the Pokemon to go to sleep, and then I can also get it down to 1 HP. So that's important because of the fact that if you are trying to catch every Mon possible, there's a right way to do it, and then there's an even more right way to do it. Now, the right way to do it is to just go out and throw a quick ball on the first turn. There you go. See you later. And that will do the job for most Pokemon. If you just go out there, you got your quick balls, you throw them first turn, you're more likely to catch them all. If that doesn't work out, now you have to make the decision of, okay, am I gonna, retreat and try it again and do another quick ball attempt, or do I want to work on getting the Pokemon to sleep and then getting it at 1 HP? If you can do that and throw an Ultra Ball, or if you've got a ball that's appropriate depending on the Mon or the time of day, that'll do it. So for example, if it's nighttime and you have a Dusk Ball, you should be utilizing that over an Ultra Ball. If you've got a Bug Pokemon or a Water Pokemon, you can get their specific ball that will give you a greater chance at catching them. Those are your default ball if you need to go for one, is going to be your Ultra Ball, right? If you've already caught that Mon one way or another, Ultra gets defeated by Repeat Ball, okay? And then Repeat Ball would be defeated, if you don't have that, by essentially anything that would give you an advantage over that particular Mon. So it's Ultra, and then it goes, if you don't have it, you go for whatever Pokeball would allow you to have an advantage against it, and then if you have caught it before, Repeat would beat all of those, if I remember correctly. And all of that is essentially defeated by using a quick ball on the very first turn. So for me, even though it is a Glotted moment, or delayed, I really don't know, we are still going to utilize a Repeat Ball when we do get to this point to catch it, since it's going to be recognized as a Ditto, not a Delayed, and we already have both anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's the way to go about catching it and guaranteeing it is using that Repeat Ball. Could use a little help from my friends. I will admit, this is, it's actually turned out to be a long battle, but it looks like we're going to be successful. I forget what turn we're on. This is, I think, 7 or 8, but this should be it. Come on, someone needs to finish it off now. Alright guys, there we go. Ditto is weak, we're gonna go and catch it. We're gonna jump over to our Repeat Balls. Like I said, we've already got Ditto. This is gonna guarantee that we catch him. And then we are going to hope and pray that we get at least a 5 perfect IV Ditto. 5 would be great as a start. Everyone that I've caught so far has been a 4 IV. I want one that's got all 6, so this way it's considered to be perfect. And if we can get that, then like I said, I've got good leverage to getting Masuda Ditto. So when you catch your bigger Mons like this, you're going to get large and extra large experience candies. And in this case, when you are dealing with Dittos, you don't get move sets. But if you go through other Gigantamax Pokemon or Dynamax Pokemon, you will get really, really nice, I forget what they're not the TMs, but they're the RMs or TRs. that are the one-time use moves, but those can really come in handy when you're trying to build out your team. Alright. Fingers crossed. Ditto was actually added to the party. So let's see what we got. And... Alright, not good. It's great stats. I mean, it's... Technically, that is a correct statement. It's not good, it's great. But it's not great. This is not great. We can move our great stat Ditto with the rest of its great stat Ditto brethren, which means we've now got 4 Dittos that have great stats, 2 with amazing stats, and 1 that just has good stats. So, alright, now with that out of the way, I guess since we're here in the Pokemon box, I know I was saying to Realms that I would give at least some of my input on what I like, or at least what I want my teams to look like, is right now I'm running the following as my team. I know there's an easier way to do this by selecting multiple Mons, but that's alright. So I'm running with Cinderace, Dragapult, Tyranitar, Toxtricity, Rillaboom, and then I've also got... Where'd you go? I've got Gyarados as well. So those are the Mons that I'm normally rolling with. And these, yeah, right, again, I can't speak today, words. This is my main team. I normally roll in with Cinderace, Dragapult, and Tyranitar. Okay? Cinderace, I've got lined up the following way. Okay, I've got him holding a Charcoal that's going to boost his Fire-type moves. And I've got him lined up with the following moves, okay? Pyro Ball, which is that crazy, ridiculous, overpowered move. So it's 120 power. It's a special, a regular attack. It is 90 accuracy, okay? So you're looking at something that, for this type of move, with this type of power, and that type of accuracy, normally has a one move delay that you have to work with. Like, let's look at Hyper Beam, for example, right? Hyper Beam, 150 power, 90 accuracy. It's the closest thing that I can bring as an example at the moment. But it shows here that you can't move the next turn. So for Cinderace, you basically get a Hyper Beam type move with no penalty. You can just go right back at it again. That's essentially my clear move. That's what I'm doing to sweep, is I'm running with Pyro Ball. Okay? Realm's saying that they like running with Tyranitar as a mid-battle cleanup in the old games. You know what? I'm kind of there with you. I run Tyranitar as my middleman. And then I have, essentially, I've got... it depends on who comes out for the next Pokemon, but I'll have Tyranitar as like a middleman, and then I'll wrap things up if I can with Dragapult. But Pyro Ball, Acrobatics, okay, it's not a great move when we're dealing with, people who have really good teams, and they make sure that all of their Mons have some form of an item with them. It's not a great move for that point, but if you do go into someone who doesn't have a Mon with an item on it, Acrobatics is a quick move. You're most likely going to go out first if you've got Cinderace with Acrobatics. You're the first one to move. I know that it's going to hit, unless I'm dealing with someone that's really, powerful against flying attacks. I know I'm going to be in good shape, so if I've got someone, maybe Pyro Ball didn't do the full job, and they've got, a fifth of their health left, or, they got a fair little chunk, I know that I can get in with Acrobatics to clear out the rest of it. If I'm against the ropes, that's where Reversal's going to come in. Okay, reversal is purely if the first attack doesn't take them out, okay, and their rebuttal is a significant move that really knocks down my health. If I'm looking at, 30% health, if I'm looking at, less than 30% health, I'm probably skipping acrobatics, I'm going straight to reversal, and I'm trying my best to utilize that skill. The only reason I don't run Cinderace with a Focus Slash is that I would have to have a Mon that's going to one-shot me to warrant having the Sash. I'm finding that even though Cinderace here is a little bit of a weaker, Mon from its defense standpoint, it's still a 2-hit Pokemon. So it just the whole strategy of going in with a Focus Sash, going to 1 HP, hitting reversal, and then demolishing your opponent, it's just not working for me. Just because most of the time, again, I'm not getting knocked down to that point. But it's there in case I need it. And then Zen Headbutt is just a great move to have on hand. Right, it really takes it from Cinderace being a fire Pokemon to being a fire, flying, fighting, and psychic cleaner. It's a sweeper. It's a very, very good overall, sweet sweeper with great capabilities for different types. It's a great Pokemon to have. Dragapult, very straightforward in terms of how I do that. Realm saying that they also like using the Trick Room strategy, where I put high damage dealing slow Pokemons as a team, so once I'm able to activate Trick Room, my slow Pokemons have a chance to go first most of the time. That's a very interesting way to go about doing it, and I forget what Endeavor is becoming a big thing, right? Where you have something where you're turning the tables, kind of like that, to where having a Pokemon that gets to 1 Focus Sash, Endeavor, bang, you get them down to, to 1. You're running Protect, I think, the next room. It's like Protect, Endeavor, and then like Quick Attack. So you're almost guaranteed to go first the next round, and I forget it's the Fear, it's the Rattata strategy. I've run into that a couple of times. That was funny to watch. But it's just people who really think out ridiculous strategies to somehow take, like you, taking really beefy Mons who are difficult to take out, and then somehow turning the tables to where normally they're not getting, the light of day to be able to attack. Well, now I have the beefed up Mon and you've got the slow Mon because I just threw Trick Room in there. That's a very, very interesting way to go about doing it. It's really fun to see people pushing the limits in terms of what you can do for fun strategies. So Dragapult's very straightforward, okay? Dragapult is Dragon, Ghost, and he's not sorry, okay? I've got Dragon Dance and Dragon Darts. I'm rolling Dragon Dance, and then pending that I'm not going up against another dragon, I'm doing Dragon Darts and I'm taking everything down with me. Or not with me, because it's not a recoil attack. But I'm doing Dragon Dance. It's bumping up attack and speed, and then I'm knocking essentially everything out at that point with Dragon Darts. It's just a layup. You have the Dragon Dance, you lay it up, you smash it home with the dunk for Dragon Darts. If I, also want to take advantage of what we've got for Dragapult, it's Phantom Force and Shadow Ball. Okay? If I come into, a Mon that's going to be difficult for handling, Ghost types, then I'm immediately coming in and throwing Shadow Ball in. If I've got a Mon that I know is, going to give me some trouble, then I'm taking advantage of Dragapult being one of the faster Mons, and I'm doing Phantom Force, getting out of the way, and I know that if they've got a Mon that's got Protect on them, or if I figure out that they've got a Mon that has Protect on them, then I'm breaking out Phantom Force for that. This way, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to land, and we're going to be able to really deal some damage. Tyranitar, I do want to work with a little bit more, but I've got Stone Edge, High Horsepower, Earthquake, which kind of feels it's like I'm doubling up, but there's a reason for me having both of those, and then Hyper Beam. Okay? Tyranitar, Rock, Ground, being the major focus on this, it is purely the following. If I am in a doubles match, or if I've got someone that I need to look out for, I'm not doing Earthquake. I'm doing High Horsepower. Okay? If I don't care about what's going on, I'm going Earthquake. Right? It just allows me to be able to have an option for what I'm doing with Tyranitar. Which for whatever reason is now reminding me of Riptar from Rugrats. So if any 90s kids are out there and you actually know what I'm talking about, then I'm sorry if I made you feel old. We've got Stone Edge, High Horsepower, and then Hyper Beam just to take away from, again, having your rock or ground types. Normal is gonna technically, be pretty good against most types, minus Ghost. So I know that I have a reliable, attack that I can really break out. It's most likely gonna hit. It's gonna be a sweeper mentality, right? Tyranitar is there for one reason. Tyranitar is there to F your stuff up. Okay, Tyranitar is there for the purpose of saying, okay, you know what? This is number 2. If Cinderace didn't kill you, then I know that Tyranitar is going to be able to take a punch, and depending on who I'm dealing with, I'm going to be able to knock you out with either Earthquake, Stone Edge, or for whatever reason they have some form of an advantage against that, then I'm coming out with Hyper Beam to take that one out. Realm saying, it'll be nice to have a complete fresh start, looking into hidden abilities and breed-only transfer Pokemon moves. That is correct. That's another part of why I said before, like, I feel like Pokemon is just taken the competitive standpoint or features of the game, and I've learned more about this game in general than I've ever really wanted to know. So, you've got now hidden abilities that are here. You'll be able to get them for your starters once you have events that come out. So legendaries and starters, take them out of your ideas when we're talking about hidden abilities. Because, for example, Cinderace, I forget what it is, but it's like Obliterate or something. I forget what Cinderace's hidden ability is. You can only get it through finding a Cinderace in a Gigantamax battle. Okay, that's the only way you're going to be able to unlock it. That doesn't happen, it's not possible right now, so there's going to need to be some kind of event in the future that allows us to be able to do that. But as long as your Pokemon can make its way into, again, a Gigantamax battle, then you're golden for unlocking your secret, ability for it. But I think even people have done the math on that. If Cinderace ends up going and getting its special move, then it completely makes Cinderace, the GOAT. It takes Cinderace and it just bumps it up, crazy like in terms of his power with Gyro Ball. All right. What else do we got for you? So I've got Toxtricity. Okay. Toxtricity is kind of like on the edge of not being on my team. Toxtricity is there because of the fact that Boom Burst is a force to be reckoned with. Toxtricity is another sweeper of sorts. If you're able to get, and you've got your two different types of Toxtricities, essentially I call them the high and low amps. I forget what they're actually called, but you got the yellow version and the blue version. Boom Burst all the way with your high amp version It's 140 power, 100% accuracy. It's just, it is a clear move, to say the least. You're sweeping. It's a great move to have on hand. It does have another electric version of Boom Burst that's a little bit on the weaker side, but I opted to put in Thunderbolt just as a difference here, because of the fact that it can leave the target with paralysis. And then here, I've got a very common combo for a poison Pokemon is Toxic and then Venoshock. So poison the Pokemon and double it up, by getting a 130 power move with 100% accuracy if the Pokemon is poisoned. So poison, hit him, but that's only if Boom Burst is not going to work for a clear move. That's going to be my rundown with Troxticity. Rillaboom. Okay, Rillaboom is, I don't know. Like I said, he's not on the bottom of my list of Pokemon where I'm looking at cutting or I'm looking to, maneuver him. But Rillaboom is like second to last. Okay. Rillaboom is an interesting mon to have on hand. I opted to take a big part of Rillaboom and to change it up a little bit. So a lot of people for Rillaboom utilize, and I forget the name of the move, you'll have to accept my apologies, but essentially it's a dark move. You knock an item out of the hands of the mon that you're going up against. That can make a big difference if you're going up against someone who's going to have, leftovers and is a particular, really picky Pokemon to take out. One that has a focus sash that for whatever reason is able to just keep on, doing its work against you. One that is got an orb, a life orb that makes it that much more of a sweeper. You can come out with Rillaboom, knock it out, but I wanted to opt for something that was a little bit better in terms of power, but still kept it as a dark move. Drain Punch is there for the purpose of really just, again, dark fighting in grass, trying to do what I can. Hey, thank you very much, Heather. Thank you so much for the cheer, and I'm a happy guy every time I get to see the corgi emojis that are there. I'm always a big fan. Hey, how's it going? We made the decision, Heather, as a side note, that we are going to continue our shell challenge at 8 p.m. So I've got an hour, and I've just been talking everyone's ears off. You poor guys having to listen to me talk about Pokemon. But so we've got double hit, drum beating, Drain Punch, and Darkest Lariat. Again, I wanted to come from a point to where Rillaboom would be able to take on a bunch of different types and be able to hold his own. Drum beating is there for the purpose because it's probably one of Rillaboom's best grass moves that you can have it learn, and it will knock down a Pokemon that's a little bit faster than Rillaboom. So it's a great move for the purpose of trying to even the playing field in terms of speed. Drain Punch is there. Yeah, there's so many moves to learn, Realm. So many moves. Drain Punch is there purely from the standpoint to where, again, it's there to help me if I'm going up against a Mon who is really susceptible to fighting, but it's there in case I've got an opportunity to heal myself back a little bit. And because, Rillaboom is a little chunky. Rillaboom can take some shots. So Drain Punch is good for the purpose of being able to keep me in the game. Unless I'm going up against a Cinderace, unless I'm going up against someone who is a really powerful sweeper fire type, Rillaboom is there for the purpose of, again, taking a shot, keeping on keeping, and being there as, again, a multifaceted fighter to take on a couple of different types. And then, I don't know why people don't use Gyarados more. Okay, Gyarados is consistently one of the better mons that you get every single generation. It's one of the highest, stats that you can get from a mon. I mean, if we were to just very quickly go and take a look at Gyarados, right? When you're dealing with attack, Gyarados is by far, and I know I completely did that in an ass-backwards way. I could have just went right over to the left and got there, but instead I was an idiot. But Gyarados is a major, major attacker. It is always consistently, every single generation, one of the higher attack stat Pokemons, and you can always use a good Gyarados in your party. In this case, I've got Gyarados set up in the following way. Okay, I've got Hyper Beam when needed, from a standpoint where, again, I'm going up against someone where I can't utilize Hydro Pump and I can't utilize Brine. For me, Gyarados is coming in, Hydro Pump, Hurricane, really not Hurricane, only if it's warranted for me to really go that route. So in other words, I'm going up against a grass type, I'm going up against another, water type, or I'm going up against somebody where my water moves are just not going to cut it, and I want to take the chance at using a 70 accuracy move. I'm breaking out Hurricane. But that's there as like a last second possibility. But for me, I'm going in Hydro Pump, and then once the Mon is less than 50% health, I'm coming in Brine. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Brine is there, because if I've got someone who's less than 50% health, I'm coming in strong with 130 power, 100% accuracy attack move, of which I've got 10 of them. So you can do whatever you want to do, but if I have a Mon that's less than 50% health, as long as it's not advantageous, and it's got good defenses against water, I'm coming in with Gyarados, and I'm gonna brine the hell out of you, and we're gonna end that battle pretty quickly. So that's my team. I really do enjoy rolling with Cinderace, Tyranitar, and Dragapult. So the reasoning behind that is Cinderace is a sweeper right off the bat. I am coming in strong, best card that I got. If you take him down, good for you, because right after that you're going up against Tyranitar. Another really good sweeper, very beefy, and then at that I'm switching out to Dragapult, or it's a finisher for me. If I'm at Dragapult as my last result, it's a pretty good last result to have. Obviously, those strategies will go out of the way depending on what Mon's going to be coming out next. Anything that's going to be weak to Dragon or Ghost, Dragapult's coming out. Rock or Ground, Tyranitar's out. Every other, purpose, Cinderace is there. And then my second team, I find, is I'm trying to run when I can with Rillaboom, Toxicity, and Gyarados. Rillaboom for the purpose of knocking the Pokemon down in terms of its speed stat, trying to hold its own unless there's a type mismatch. Bringing in Toxicity, knowing that I'm going to now have the speed advantage, and going in with my super overpowered attack that we have. And again, it just crossed Boom Burst. There we go. And then finishing things up with Gyarados, if possible. Thank you very much again for whoever our amazing anonymous cheer is. A pleasure, a pleasure. Thank you so much for the support, you guys. Alright, I know that I've been talking your ears off. Let's actually get down to business. I've got 50 minutes. I've blown so much time. So let's look at our Pokedex. We've got 179. So if you actually look right over there, you'll see it actually properly has the 179 next to our Rotom Dex. And you can see I've tried to kind of take them in numerical order. So I've got my Grookey, Thwackey, Rillaboom, Scorbunny, Radboot, Cinderace, Sobble, Drizzle, and Teleon for my starters. I got those already, and I just started making my way down strategically through, in numerical order here. C-Dot I don't have because that is a sword exclusive, so I'm gonna have to reach out to Realms maybe, and Realms can hook me up with the C-Dot, because then I'll be able to take on essentially Nuzleaf and Nuzleaf's evolution after that. And then once I reached that little point, I just decided to keep on going. Choodle all the way down to, which is where we are right now. So I've got Boonsweet in. I had Boonsweet in my party before I started talking your ear off about party matchups, and we're gonna start making our way through Steenie and Serena as well. So Boonsweet is going to, we go to level 60, so I'm not really worried about that. We just need to get Boonsweet to 61. 61 is then going to evolve, I think it's like level 18 for Boonsweet, but because we're post-game, everything is basically level 60 now. So getting it to 61 is going to evolve it into Steenie, and then I need to find out how to get Stomp. I believe Stomp is learned at level 28 for Steenie. I'm hoping to go to a move tutor, have Steenie relearn Stomp if I can. If not, I'm going to have to try and work around it. But Steenie then will evolve into Serena once it has the Stomp move, because girl, those are some pointy heels that you're wearing, and if you're gonna stomp on it, you might as well use your hella heels that you've got going on. And then after we're done with Steenie, we're gonna make our way over to Budu here, who's gonna be next. Alright, so I think that's where we're gonna start with our strategy. And break. So now we need to put everyone back into their boxes. Oh, dumb Joseph. And yes, I'm aware that you can select multiple mons at once, but... Alright, now where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? There we are. We'll put Boonsweet back into our party. Like I said, we're gonna get Boonsweet to level 61. We'll do that by taking our large or extra large candies. I think a large one should do it. I'm not entirely certain. Worst case scenario, I'm going to waste a large candy. Just under. Crap. Alright, so I think what we'll do with that, just because I do like to hold on to those, we'll actually come over and come check out this guy here. A wild Cufant. I know I have the evolved version of Cufant. I'm not sure if I've got Cufant. So since I don't, this is great. I can actually just go ahead and capture the Cufant because I need it. So we're going to do a quick ball. I told you guys before we were talking about strategy for utilizing Pokeballs. Always quick ball right off the bat if you can. That's your best statistically in terms of time management here to get your Pokemon rolling here. So we're at 180 now. We've caught 180 Pokemons. Let's see. Cufant's data will be added to the Pokedex. Let's actually see if I can bring up some information here on Cufant. And then we'll do this for you guys. Ready? Just so you can get a taste of the nonsense that I'm going to be doing while I'm working with you guys. Is I'm going to be basically doing this. So Cufant is number 878. So now we've added Cufant to our last Mon that we just got. Actually, Q-Font goes into my party, and then I didn't even bother to look to see what that meant for our experience points, because the whole reason I went after Q-Font was to see if that was going to bump up our experience enough so we didn't have to waste another large rare candy or experience candy. Cubchoo. That was a cute mon there. Okay, so I think one more and we should be fine. Cubchoo, I know evolves into that really large polar bear Pokemon. So let's go ahead and just add Cubchoo there. Would help if I actually had the image address when I was doing that. There we go. So now Cubchoo with this really big frozen snot hanging out there. He's gonna join us for a little bit. I love how it just swings back and forth. Blah, 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 blah. Do not want to get hit by that, I'll tell you that much. That means we're at 181. If we can get one more, that would be great. I don't think I have this fella right here. I did not mean to get the Stuffle, but that's okay. Do I have a Stuffle? I do not have a Stuffle. This is, again, you're catching me at 181 Pokemon, guys, so I've got a lot of work to do, to say the least. Stuffle has been caught, so now we can actually already take our poor snotty friend out of the way. We can put Snuffle up there. We're at 182. So much multitasking, guys. Everyone's getting added to the party. I didn't even get the one that I wanted to get, which was this one. So a Noibat, I forget it's a Noivern or whatever the evolved version is of this. I've already got that one. I ran into that one and caught it. But we're gonna grab this guy too, or Growl, because I know I don't have it. So I know this is, again, this is the major strategy for me is quick ball, quick ball, quick ball, quick ball. That's the way to do it. It's the fastest way to get the Pokemon caught. There's really no other way to put it. Again, just to summarize what I was talking about before. Boon Suite 61, which means we're going to evolve into the Pokemon that we have over on our Now slot. But again, a short version for those who missed it. Quick Ball is always your go-to. Your very first throw. Get that out there. If it doesn't work out, then now you're starting to look at the following order. If you've already caught the Pokemon, go for a repeat ball, okay? If you haven't caught the Pokemon, go for a ball that gives you an advantage over it. So if it's a bug, a net ball. If it's a dive ball for a water Pokemon, so on and so forth. Find the Pokeball that matches the Pokemon that you're working with. That's going to give you the best bang for your buck. If you don't have any of those, go for an Ultra Ball. In either case, always make sure that you're trying to get it paralyzed, that you're trying to get it asleep, and if you can, in the perfect scenario, if the Quick Ball doesn't work out, that you've got a Pokemon like Glade that will allow you to be able to get it all the way down to 1 HP, that'll allow you to be able to put it to sleep, and you can use whatever Pokeball that you're going to use at that point. You'll be able to utilize an Ultra, essentially, and you're almost guaranteed to catch it. So, Boon Suite is now 61. Should evolve now. Alright. Lovely. So we'll add Steenie into our last we've got Steenie on the now also, but let's hope that we're able to get stomped up there, or whatever the move is. Stomp, that's right. Noibat now a part of our group. So I think what we're gonna do is we're going to go to Motostoke. We're gonna go and see if we can learn Stomp. I'm not actually sure if this is gonna work, to be honest with you. Because if it never learnt it, can you learn it? That's the question. Stomp. All right, great. We'll get rid of Flail, just because. No need to have Flail. Ever. Alright, now I don't know whether or not if that's an automatic. I think it's a level up. So, we now have to get our friend up a level. So, we can actually take Q-Font, and we can put Q-Font into our box without having to do anything, because Q-Font is already, again, we've already got the, would help if my little Pokedex here was working with me here, but Q-Font is already, we're already set with that, because we do not need Copperajah, so we can just put him away. Steenie, we want to evolve. Cubchoo, we want to evolve. And Stuffle, I think we can also send to the box, because I think we've got Stuffle's evolution. So we're going to very quickly just confirm that. And again, confirming that we've got the very large elephant, Copperajah, and Stuffle's evolution. So there is Copperajah, so we can put Q-Font in here. And then we're looking for the gigantic stuffed bear. Which I might not actually have. So maybe perhaps we do end up evolving Stuffle. So we'll take a very quick look one more time in case I missed it. I could have swore that I had it, but I don't. So that means we're going to want to evolve Stuffle too. And that's the reason why we started things off by doing the Ditto raid. Because we wanted to get experience candies to make sure that we were able to level up our friends here. So, Cubchoo loses his snot ice boogers and becomes Beartic, and now he's got a pretty awesome ice beard, hopefully not made of snot. So, I'm not going to take the time to make these Pokemon perfect in terms of their movesets. Steenie can now level up, and Steenie should evolve. That should take us to 185. Again, multitasking. Sarina. rock kick. That's fine. We're not, again, we're not going to do that just because of the fact that we are not maximizing the movesets on the Pokemon that we're working on. We're going to put Serena over on our last area, and then we can make some changes to our team, and then I just need to confirm that Stuffle doesn't require anything else for evolving, just because I've not had a chance to ever work with Stuffle before in the past. We've got about a half hour left, so I feel like I can make a good chunk here of what's left. Stuffle evolves at level 27 into Beware. So that just means we can just level him up. Again, it takes way too much time to level up the Pokemon individually. So taking Stuffle and doing 10 battles to get it to level 61 just so it can evolve to Beware is just going to take too much time. So that's why when we run out of our experience candies, then we'll do another Ditto den. So this way we can continue to work towards the Masuda Ditto, or at least our leverage towards hopefully getting one, while also getting experience candies to help make our leveling process a lot easier. All for the sake of time, right? And the reason why I am allowing the Pokemon that we're catching to go into my party, and rather than just having it immediately go into the box, is because of the fact that if they are indeed a first evolution, and they've got other forms to, to have, I want to make sure that they're not going to get lost in the box, where I have to go searching for them again, so I can go through the purpose of evolving them. So I'm trying to work in that fashion, so this way, again, I can just immediately do my experience candies, level them up, and get the next one that's on the list. So let's head over to our Pokedex. 187. Oh, I've got 2 more than what I thought. Look at that. I can't count. That's why I became an attorney, so I wouldn't have to count. That's what I tell myself. Makes me not cry. Alright. There's always Excel and calculators and other things to help. But right now, I'm relying on my own incompetence. Alright, Budew. Budew is next. Let's see what we've got for habitats. Alright, so first question is, can I get it on a road? And the answer is yes. It looks like I can get it here. And I can get it essentially at any weather. The moment you start going into the wild area, you're now having to compete with weather, and that will affect how things are going to go. So, for example, I'd have to hit plus button, and right here it's showing there's a lot of snow. Budew's not going to be here. Actually, Budew probably isn't going to be here either, because it's at least it's sunny over here, so it's going to work out. But for the most part, if things don't line up appropriately in terms of weather, then it's just not going to work out for you while you're trying to find that Pokemon. So winter, just not going to cut it. We're not going to find Budew there. Over here is sunny, so we might be able to get Budew over here. But I think for the purpose of making sure that we get a good chance at finding Budew, we'll go ahead and head over to, I believe that's Route 4. Let's see, one more time. Oh, no wonder why I'm like complete dum-dum at the moment. Route 4. All right. Now let's see what we got for finding Budu here. This might have been a mistake. That's hilarious. So it's showing me that Budu has a 4% chance of coming up in the wild grass. So let's go ahead and actually try and flip that now. We'll try and take a look at what Budu is over in the one sunny area that we had for your weather, which was here. I believe it was Giant's Mirror that you could find Budu. Correct, Giant's Mirror. So we can make our way over to Giant's Mirror, and hopefully that'll have a better percent chance than where we were. Either that or I'm going to have to change the date in hopes that I can get another better percentage lineup here at a different area. So 10% in the grass is where that is, it's currently at. So I'll roll with that. I'll take a 10% chance. It's going to be a little bit. Hopefully it's not too many. But we'll taxi it up to Hammer Hills here, or Hammerlock Hills. And it would help if your boy actually put in the appropriate Pokemon that we're hunting, right? There we go. If things go well, guys, and the stream really takes off, we'll have to hire an assistant, and we'll have that assistant, and their only job will be to replace our Pokemon images up here. That's what we'll do. Alright, Giant's Mirror. We're going in the grass. Alright, so we've already got a Dottler, so we're going to run from Dottler. And actually, now that I see that, we are going to switch Glade with Cinderace. Because if Cinderace does anything to any of these Pokemon, they're just going to explode. I do not believe that I have a Woobat, so we're going to catch it since we're here. And we don't. So we're going to do a Quick Ball, 17 more of those, or 16 now. I'm going to be cocky and put us at 188. 188, Woobat was caught. Remember, we have a 10% chance at getting a Budu. Alright, number 2, I'll take it. That's a good situation, because when I was on here before and I was getting, I forget who it was, but it was a 10% chance on like Route 1 or 2, and I ended up doing 20 encounters before I got the one that I needed. So, you know the strategy, guys. Quick Ball, throw the Quick Ball at it. Fingers crossed. Not too bad. Alright, critical capture. Nice and quick. 189. We've got 25 minutes. I'm hoping we can get to 200. That would be great, guys. We can be halfway done with the Galar Dex. All right, beautiful. Now, if I remember correctly, we can level up our Budu here, but that will require, what does it say? Level up with happiness value at 220 during the day. And do I already have Budu's Rosalina? I think Rosalina is the... no, so I've run into Rosalina before. I think because of the fact that it is nighttime, or at least I believe it's going to be considered nighttime. I'm not sure. Where are we at here? Is it the middle of the day here? I think we'd be good. But I think we can actually find a Rosalina. I've run into Rosalina a lot in the wild area. So I just have to remind myself of where Rosalina is. Yeah, Rosalia, not Rosalina. Rosalina is that damn Mario character, right? Alright, so it looks like I can make my way over to... We are already in the Giant's Mirror, so maybe perhaps we can get a Rosalina here in the Giant's Mirror. Alright, random in grass, if it's overcast, Rosalia is available, but it's sunny right now. If thou wouldest triumph, thou must look to the light. Actually, I've got two really bright lights here and here, and I've actually got one over here too. So you pick what bright light you want me to look at, and I'll look directly into it. I'll ruin my eyes for you, Ronan. Alright, let's see. So, I don't know. It's showing me it has to be overcast. I don't have overcast. Where do I have overcast? How about that? So, we do have it over in these areas, but the question is, am I able to get them with that? So, Dusty Bowl, Giant's Cap. Is Dusty Bowl or Giant's Cap going to work? Giant's Cap, it shows, is one of the available areas for Rosalia. So let's see what Rosalia needs for her to come out. Your boy was hoping that it was going to be another overcast and that there was going to be consistency here. But I'm not seeing Rosalia, so let's do... quick little search here, because I might just be done. There's gotta be a Rosalia. Alright. Random in grass, overcast, Rosalia, 40% at Axu's Eye. I forget where Axu's Eye is. I think it's on the other side. The unfortunate part about that is that there is no... It is winter over there right now. And I don't think Rosalia is going to show up in the winter weather. Snowing. Yeah, it's all going to be that. So crap, I am really limited in terms of what I can do for Rosalia. And for those, I'm sorry that I'm kind of wasting your time right now, guys, but the reason why I'm trying to do this is that it will take me less time to map out where the best place statistically it is for me to find Rosalia than it will be to go to where I know I can get her right now, but there's only a 5% chance that she will appear where I'm looking to go. So I'm trying to find an area that will get me a better chance at finding Rosalia. So, Giant's Cap. We were just talking about it being overcast and that possibly being Rosalia's go to location. So Rosalie is found in a common den in Giant's Cap, so that's not going to cut it. Dusty Bowl is where we were looking before, I believe. Dusty Bowl. Where are you? Rosalia Overcast. 10% in Dusty Bowl. Okay, so far, that's the best that I think we're going to be able to get. Giant's Mirror, 5%. Dusty Bowl, 10%. I think that that's going to be the better option for us, because everywhere else, Rolling Fields is not going to cut it. I'll check just to see, just in case it's like a crazy percentage that I'm not catching. But Rolling Fields, sunny weather, or at least normal weather. We might be able to get a encounter on the overworld, but the chances of getting a capture of that Rosalia is going to be significantly less. I'm going to have to utilize my Pokemon for the sleep combo that we're going to be looking at. So I think worst case scenario, we'll try and do this over... Hey, the Mims, thank you very much for joining us tonight. In about 15 minutes, we're going to be switching over to The Sims 4, and Stephanie and I are going to be continuing our couple shell challenge. Alright, so I'm a dum-dum, and we need to go over here to the Dusty Bowl. I just need to make sure that I remember how to get there. What direction are you going in, Joseph? Is the question. Finally got me emote approved. Congratulations, the Mims. Mims. Sorry. I'm gonna call you Mim. Yeah, Realms, there's weather to contend with, and the weather will change with the seasons. No, actually, the weather will change with your time of day. It's basically New England. You wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. No, I'm joking. I think each day comes with new weather, and I'm not sure what the timetables are on it, but essentially, depending on the weather, will dictate what type of Pokemon or what, are available for you to capture. Obviously, if it is snowing, you're not going to find your grass types. You're not going to find types that are weak to snow. If it's, normal weather, like what we have over here, it could be normal Pokemon, right? It could be anything, though. But if it's really sunny, you're not going to find, I don't know, let's go with grass types, because they'll be withering in the sun. It's that kind of stuff leads it to be a little interesting when you're trying to find a particular Pokemon for you to capture. So again, 10% chance on wild Pokemon encounters in the grass. Alright, we do not have an Eldegoss, so we are going to quick ball that. That's not bad. Alright, so, like I said, what happens, guys? Your Quick Ball does not work out. What do you need to do? Okay, well now you need to look at putting the Pokemon to sleep. Hopefully not die. It is a 60% accuracy, if I remember correctly, so it's not the greatest. And I'm probably going to die if this doesn't land. Alright, we got that to land. That's good. I actually just realized. That's what we want up on the screen. Now I can heal up a little bit of health here by doing... Oh no, I didn't want to do Draining Kiss. That's okay. I want to do Dream Eater. That's what I get for multitasking. So, it actually is, it's not a golf ball. It looks like a golf ball, but it's actually supposed to be like a dandelion. That's what it's supposed to look like. But I agree, I think it looks like a golf ball. Yeah, I woke up, so. This has been a fail explanation and showing of how to capture things when your Pokeballs don't work out. That's okay. We're getting the bad one out of the way. Now I'm not going to use the wrong move. We're going to do Dream Eater because we want to use Dream Eater when they're asleep. That's great because it's going to boost up our health as well. So we can take a little bit more damage. Mims is saying that they're going to be working on the I Got You Back shell for their stream once they get home. And that'll be awesome. I know Heather really kicked my butt when I was putting that together. So just because if we do Dream Eater, we're probably going to kill Eldegoss, so I'm going to start using False Swipe now. And the reason why it's going to leave us with 1 HP, at worst. It's probably going to wake up before... Yeah, no, it's good. Okay, so this False Swipe is going to leave it with 1 HP. Boom. Now we're going to go to our bag, or at least go to our Pokemon balls. I don't have it already, so we're not going to use Repeat, and I don't think I have anything that will help with the purpose of catching a grass type. So what we're going to do is, instead, we're just going to go grab an Ultra Ball. So 1 HP, Asleep status, Ultra Ball. This should be enough to capture. Ta-da. There you go. Thank you, Mims. That's greatly appreciated. I tried to fill the deafening silence with at least something that can be considered partly educational while playing the game. It's not like I'm just like, I love this Pokemon! Oh my god, I love this Pokemon! Although I'm sure that wouldn't be bad either. Alright, 10% chance, remember? Let's try and see if we can get this to work out. Oh no! Wow, Hitmonchan just came out of nowhere wanting to F my stuff up. I think we already have Hitmonchan, so we're gonna run. You know what that is? Hitmonchan saw a Psychic type and was like, Nerd! Come over here so I can punch you in the face, nerd! Alright, another Eldegoss. We're gonna run because we already have this one. Remember, 10% chance. so salty. So very salty. You encountered a wild Stink Trump. So for those who aren't aware, Skunk Tank basically looks like Donald Trump's hair. And is probably as stinky as our current president. I wonder if you can transfer, and sorry, Realms is saying that if Pokemon Home comes out, they wonder if it's going to work like they think it would, meaning that they can transfer my Ash Hat Pikachu. So I think Pokemon Home is going to have limited compatibility. So, in other words, you're going to be able to transfer Pokemon. I know from Sword and Shield, I know from Sun and Moon. I'm just not sure if it will include anything other than Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, Eevee, and Pikachu. And I think that those are like the 3 confirmed from my knowledge. I'm not sure what else is going to be available for you to transfer from. Oh yeah, what we're doing right now is like borderline crazy stuff. We're just running around in a field, back and forth, the same field, forever. Alright, we're gonna revive Gallade. Get that plug-in back smelling good. We get some energy roots, why not? That's right, Eldegoss. Eldegoss is at 1 HP, kind of hanging out. I'll try and see if we can move to another field, purely because these Crogunks are going to be really chasing after us, making it a little bit difficult. Pretty sure Crogunk's going to be all over the place. Alright. Roselia is here for us. We're going to quick ball this. Hope that it's good enough, because I really don't want to have to go through the rigmarole of what I did with our golf ball dandelion. Alright, that's good. Glad to see that. I think we're at 191. I love how like 10 minutes ago I'm like, oh yeah, we're at 190, we could totally get to 200, yeah. And now we've got 6 minutes left in the stream and I'm like, oh, 191, woo! I don't know why I became like a weird Canadian when I was doing that voice, but I did. And you have my sincerest apologies. Not that there's anything wrong with our neighbors from the north, but, you know. Not all Canadians sound like that. Alright, 315 is Roselia's number. So let's punch that into our handy-dandy tool. And bam! Roselia shows up on the last area. Mims, thank you very much for tuning in. I know you gotta hit the road, but we'll be glad to see you when you get back. Alright, 61. 61. Not sure who you are. I know we have a Wingull, so I'm actually gonna take care of that, since we can. I'll try and get some easy level ups here. Roselia is gonna need us to have a shiny stone. I'm not sure if I have a shiny stone. Let's see if we do. So before I send her away. We do have a shiny stone. So I just want to make sure that that's good. We'll have Rosalia take that. All right, Rose Raid is now on our team here. Great, add her over to the last area. What else do we got? Right, Eldegoss. We can see whether or not if Eldegoss has a next evolution form. I have no idea who or what Eldegoss is. Eldegoss is the final form of Gossifleur, so there's no need to worry about Eldegoss. We've got Budu. Budu we already took care of by getting Rosalia, and then now we've got Woobat. So we can go and check out Woobat here. I believe Woobat has another form. And Woobat turns into Swoobat, and that is only when it's got a happiness value of 200 and it levels up with that happiness value. So that means we can get rid of all 4 of our current team members, put them into our box, and then we can start looking for some more. Okay, fair enough. I thought that was going to work, but that's okay. We'll just move them one at a time, I guess. I was under the impression if you did a multi-select, we'd be able to bring them right over. And there was 4 spaces, so I don't know why it wasn't working. Alright, since I do not know what that blank spot is, we've got 192 by the way, Joseph, you can't count. Wingull, we can bring up, because we have you, Wingull. Vulpix as well. Wingull, Vulpix, or Vulpix. Is there any other one that I can see at the moment that I can do a quick change on here? Alright, so let's start over here. Remember, right now we're just going for quick and easy evolutions from Mons that I don't currently have. Vulpix is 1. I do not have Ninetales yet, although our Psychic... Is it Psychic or is it Fairy that Vulpix turns? I think it's Psychic. Really cool looking Vulpix in the Galar region. None of those we can quickly upgrade at the moment. I think that's everyone that we got at the moment. I'd love to know what I did with the 2 other Pokemon that I had brought up as potential quick evolutions here. I know it does say I caught a Tyrogue at one point, but not sure where Tyrogue has gone off to. You guys just looked at it with me. I don't think I missed him. So we've got a Tyrogue and a Wingull. I think there might have been a Wingull that I just missed because I'm an idiot, but... And we're at 8 p.m. Crap, so I have to wrap this up soon. So here's Wingull. And actually, what we'll do is I believe I can search, right? then I can search for that. I'd love to know what happened. It clearly says that I caught one. I must have traded it at one point, and I just don't have it anymore. That's interesting. That's alright, though. I mean, hey, we gotta make do with what we've got, so let's see what we can do with Vulpix and with Wingull here. Wingull's gonna be the easier of the two for me to evolve. So let's look at Wingull. That's just a level 25 evolution. So we've got the candies, we can make that work. Again, I'm not making these Pokemon perfect as we're going about it. So I'm just keeping all the moves for the sake of getting through this quickly. So that means Wingull is now going to evolve into Pelipper, I believe is the name. And we've got Stephanie trying to sneak into the room. Oh, she let Cooper in. Hi, Coops. I know it's 8. I know. I've been playing the Pokemons for too long. Alright, let's see what we can do with Vulpix here.
I caught a corgi.
You caught a corgi?
Yes.
Oh no.
Fastest, most rarest of all Pokemons. Got a Petamol.
Got Petamol is more like it, exactly. Yeah, that'd be great, please. And then I'll be wrapping up shortly here. Let's see. That Vulpix definitely looks like it is a Vulpix from the Kanto region and not from the Galarian region, because Vulpix should be Psychic to begin with, if I remember correctly, here. It is normally a Fire type, but in the Galarian region, it's not. Or at least I don't think it is. I think it has a different type here. Alright. Am I in the wrong damn thing here? It's fire still. Okay, thank you, Realms, for that clarification. For whatever reason, I thought the Vulpix in or Ninetales in the Galarian region with all of its changes was a different type here. What? Oh yeah, Ponyta. That's right. My bad. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about me. I'm mixing that up with Ponyta. You know what would be cool though, is if we did actually get a Ninetales, kind of like the Aloha region. That's what I'm getting Vulpix mixed up with. Is for Sun and Moon in the Aloha version. Vulpix and Ninetales become Ice and Fairy, if I remember correctly. And for whatever reason, I thought they did the same here, but they didn't, so I'm just a dum-dum. And that's a great way to end the stream for Pokemon, by me showing how much I lack in terms of Pokemon skills. Good job, Joe. You the best Pokemon master. Alright, Ninetales, still fire. Thank you, Realms. I was exactly thinking of Ponyta, and I'm not a complete idiot. Yes, I am. And I think that's where we are going to leave this for now. I hope that you guys were having a fun time. Definitely give the feedback. If this was a nightmare to watch, and I really suck at Pokemon, then let me know. I won't do it no more, I promise. And if you enjoyed it, I definitely want to keep doing it, because I'm going to keep doing this anyway. It's just going to be on my own time. And if it happens to be on my own time, then you guys don't get to watch me make a fool of myself. And that's half the fun of watching this stream anyway. So, guys, With that out of the way, it would help if I hit the right buttons too. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch. We're going to take a very quick break, a couple of minutes. That just allows me to go to the restroom. Stephanie will come and jump in. We're going to switch the game title information over to The Sims 4. It's not going to be a long break, I promise you that. And then we are going to continue our shell challenge. So thank you so much for watching me play Pokemon Shield. We're going to pick it back up again on Wednesday, unless I get cries for Borderlands 3 to continue. But we'll pick back up with Pokemon on Wednesday. So thank you very much, and we'll see ya in 5-ish. Kind of, maybe.